This has been Brode, and you're watching Born to be Wild.
Greeting, traveler.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Born to be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I am your host, as always, Nate Tackle, police officer by day, Hearthstone player by night. Just kidding. My name is Nate Wolf. Very happy to be here, and I'm joined by two of my favorite people. So, Hydralisk, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Super excited for Friday.
Awesome. And Mike Lowe, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Always happy to be here. And Mike, who do we got with us tonight?
Tonight we got somebody special. We always have a special guest every week, but this guy here, he's the king of combos. Have you guys heard of him? The latest combo we got coming up is a Mogu Cultist OTK Mage. That's not the proper name, but as you can tell, it's gonna be some spice. Tonight we have Clark HELLSCREAM. Give it up for Clark.
Yeah, welcome, Clark.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're very happy to have you, man. I'm excited. This
combo looks crazy.
This will be fun. Well, let me ask you, how long have you been playing Wild for? Have you always played? I mean, I know that like you always rank really high in standard, and I saw you hit with Odd Demon Hunter not too long ago, and I was like, oh hey, come on the show.
Yeah, so I'm off and on with Wild only because I'm very incentive based. So I pretty much try to qualify for everything that Blizzard had, or like at least attempt for it, or either that or I'm doing content creation. But more so recently, Wild has had a lot more ways of me being able to dive into the creative realm instead of in the competitive realm. But yeah, kind of been off and on. Like I really dove into Wild back when they had the Wild Open back, I believe in like 2019, which I was able to qualify for with a rank 12 finish. But since then, I really haven't like tried to really go hard in Wild recently, just because again, lack of incentive is the main reason why.
Yeah, it's really sad. And they've been a lot better about communicating lately with most things except the Wild Open. When they did that AMA, what was it, last week or something? And I remember Mike asked them, so you guys going to do the Wild Open? And they just didn't answer. They just flat out didn't answer. So, but, I mean, the devs have been pretty good about responding to stuff lately, especially on Twitter, and I don't know. They gifted us a Skullman's code, so I can't say anything too mean about it.
Yeah.
At least it means that they're listening, right? Like that's the biggest thing that you have to keep in mind.
They
At least they're listening and they're doing something, but I can understand a lot of people's frustrations.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, before we get too far into it, I wanted to say a big happy birthday to you, and thanks for starting out your birthday weekend on our show. That means a lot. So
Yeah, man, no problem. Big 24. Oh boy.
24, getting up there.
Hey, brother.
You're hanging out with the old dudes tonight.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's usually the case. I'm actually one of the younger people in my band, so like usually people are like 27, 29. So
okay.
Even then, that's still pretty young for most people's standards. But I'm used to it at this point.
So tell us about your band. I mean, we know you play drums, but tell us about the band a little bit.
We're trying to dive more into like more content creation. Obviously shows are very rare at the moment, but we do have some like not electric shows, but we have recorded shows that we're going to like send to people that want the content, and they're going to like give it to their audience and whatnot.
That's cool.
But in any case, we're a funky rock group called the Indigos. We've got links on Spotify that you can check out if you guys want to check out our album, Indigo Army. But we're more so working on some more original songs, because that was like our album that came out like about 2 years ago, and that was already like pretty much made before I was on the team essentially. But now that I've pretty much taken over drums full time, like I've been the one making the beats and doing the drum parts, and we got some pretty cool songs coming up soon that I can't wait to release.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I know we were trying to talk you into doing a drum solo on the show, and we tried it for the people watching or listening. We tried one during sound check, and we're having some issues with the mic picking it up. But yeah,
and I think that's just how audio interfaces get picked up in Discord specifically, because there's more than one channel, and Discord doesn't like it when there's more than one mic.
Yeah, no, it's all good. We'll maybe we can get you on a track someday, though. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
get you on one of the parody songs.
That would be great.
That'd be awesome.
To be honest, I was planning on doing a solo from Tenacious D's Beelzebos. That was my idea.
Wow. Nice. Tenacious D is always great.
Yeah,
maybe I can get a sample of it later and toss it on the end of the show. That'd be cool.
Yeah, sure. I could record it for you, honestly.
Yeah. Let's
Heck
if you can, let's do that. Hey, so I wanted to switch gears real quick and talk about this. So when Skullomance came out, you took it upon yourself to find Penflinger OTK combos with every class. So I watched the YouTube video. It's very well done, by the way. The music is funny, and I don't.
Thank you.
What gave you the idea to do this, and how? I mean, I don't know. I just have to say, well done. Very, very, very well done. And we'll link the YouTube video, and there's an article from HS Replay about it, and it's just fantastic. So if you guys have not seen it, please check it out. This is some grade A content here. So what got you started on all that?
So when I first saw Penflinger, I immediately saw it as this is the meme card of this set, because every single set there's some one drop or some card that's just really big on combos or just cheese in general. For example, Weasel Tunneler, it kind of reminded me of that. To where if you do something very specific with it, you could either ruin somebody's day or do some kind of hilarious combos. And I immediately saw on Twitter a post on how you can get the Azari on turn 1. That was the very first thing that I saw with Penflinger. And once I saw that combo, I'm like, okay, there's got to be more things that we can do with this. This is already ridiculous. So I just wanted to get it done before anybody else, because there's another person whose name is very, very similar to mine that also does wild combos that have to be able to make sure that I'm not just doing everything that he's doing. So I had to try and really apply myself for this one. So I wrote out a whole bunch of combos. A lot of them kind of played out the same, because really most of them were just get 5 Penflingers, have a 2-mana Bran, and some kind of 0-mana spell, because that's how you can just do 30 damage easily. But I didn't just want every single combo to be that way, so I really tried to apply myself and make as many different ones as possible.
Nice. Were there any that were your favorites, or any that you thought were particularly creative?
The Hunter one, which I got to give a shout out to Duin. He's the one that told me that the combo, because I had a similar idea, but it wasn't nearly as much damage. Obviously Godzilla is absolutely insane, but the fact that with the combo in the video, you can actually get Godzilla to, I think, either 3 or 2 HP. So there's just a lot of ways to damage it. So as much as I dislike Hunter as a class, that combo is personally my favorite, just because the amount of damage that's possible from it, and just Penflinger is just goofy.
It's funny. Yeah, no, there's some good stuff there. So, how long have you been playing Hearthstone? How'd you get into it and all that?
Hearthstone I got into when I was in high school. I believe I was a junior back in 2014, like right before Goblins and Gnomes came out. Like my brother had told me for the longest, like he literally tried to get me into this game for like weeks, only because I played a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh when I was younger, and to prove the point, I've literally got Yu-Gi-Oh cards in front of me.
Oh, nice.
These are Magic
show
cards,
us.
unfortunately. Whoops. But I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards around here somewhere. But in any case, he really pestered me to pick up the game, and a bunch of my other friends in band and in theater were doing it as well. So I just kind of roped myself into it, and it turns out I beat them a lot. So my thirst for power became
That's hilarious.
very apparent at the beginning.
Well done.
But yeah, I would always do like combo decks against them, and they would despise me for it.
Oh, that's where it started.
That's literally where it started. Yeah.
That's where it started.
You're trying to figure out the funniest ways how to beat your friends.
Right? You know you're
Yeah,
getting
I mean,
good
when you only have so many cards and you get like this one legendary, and you're like, okay, how can we make this good? Because at first you think every single legendary is broken until you realize, oh wait a minute, Gruul's not as good as he used to be.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fun. You know you're getting good when your friends like refuse to play with you anymore.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my brother doesn't play anymore just because he naturally doesn't like the random aspect of card games. He's a lot more of a melee player, like fighting games and whatnot. But yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
That's funny. I don't know. The same thing happened to me, though. My kid brother got in during the beta and was bugging me forever. You got to play it. You got to play it. You got to play it. And I was like, man, I'm already playing 10 games. I'm already playing Magic. I'm already playing, like I don't have any more time to play any more things. And then he finally wrote me into it, and I just hooked ever since. So anyways, let's see here. Yes, we will post. I'll post up a link to the HS Replay article and the YouTube video in the show notes, so everyone can check that out. And I highly recommend it.
The video's great.
The video, yeah. What do you use to do your editing? Anyhow, I'm always curious to see what other people use.
So I've kind of got a mix that, I mean, everybody's got their own way of doing things, but the biggest thing for me is that I can't really afford video editing programs and stuff like that, so I have to use a lot of free programs and whatnot. So what I use for video editing is Resolve, like DaVinci Resolve. Okay. There's a free program that you can get to where you can. It's actually like a very intensive video editing software. And Dexter's really the one that kind of like pushed me in that direction to be like, yo, like the video editing's really easy. You can do it yourself. Like you just gotta take the 2 seconds to look up some questions and then figure it out. And then lo and behold, suddenly a week later, I come out with that Penflinger combo. But yeah, like I use Resolve for video editing, and for thumbnails, I actually use OBS Studio. Like literally, I just put everything into a screenshot it, put it in Paint, and then save it.
Oh my god!
Like it's not the most ideal way to do things, but for thumbnails and for video editing, that's how I do it. And then usually, if I need to fight against myself, for the time being, have my my brother's laptop that he's not really using because it's kind of a piece of crap. It's literally falling apart in front of me. I use that whenever I have to like forge combos.
Hey, I like that. OBS and Paint is a lifesaver. I use it all the time.
I gotta start doing that.
Man. It's how I make my memes sometimes too. Like just get transparent photos, and then it's god tier. Who needs Photoshop skills?
There you go. There you go. Hey,
I've been meaning to look up a way to get Photoshop though. Like I need to do it. It's just for what it can do for content creation. It's worth it.
I'll tell you, it was like I've been using Photoshop for a long time, and it was easier back in the day because you could buy a license for it. It was, it's never real cheap, but like my father-in-law and I split a license, or like we bought 2 licenses, and I was able to do it with like a student version or whatever. But they don't sell them anymore. Like all you can get is a monthly subscription. It's like $20 a month, but it's got to be worth your time. If you're not making money off of it, it's like, I don't know. It's a good program. It's a good program, though. I do recommend it. Hey, you had mentioned that you were in theater. Like, what type of stuff did you do?
Oh, in high school, I didn't start until about my second semester of sophomore year, I think. But I did tech theater just because a lot of my band friends were also into it, and I was always interested in how like my high school was really really good at theater. Like that was the main thing that they focused on, and they had like literally like a studio theater as well as like an actual like amphitheater and whatnot. So like I really got peer pressured by my friends in band to do tech theater, and yeah, I just honestly loved it and stuck with it for a couple of semesters.
That's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, we did shows like oh god, I think Bye Bye Birdie, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland. That was a trip for sure. Oh, and my personal favorite, Shrek.
Sounds like it.
Shrek the musical.
Oh, nice, nice.
That would have been fun. Who
It
are
was
you?
before the Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life memes too. It was either that or right around the same time. Like I think I remember people just sending each other that video back in the day. Oh my god, yeah,
That's
yeah, it was
awesome.
at the same time. Holy crap!
Good stuff. Good stuff. You guys have any? Oh! I've got one other question for you. We always ask people like, "Hey, how did you come up with your username?" So I know your name is Clark. Was it? It's Hutchins, right?
Hutchings, yeah.
Hutchings. How did you come up with Clark HELLSCREAM?
To be honest, the only reason, like the main reason why I did it was because Hutchings and HELLSCREAM, like they just work. It's just two syllables essentially. And I played a lot of Warrior back in the day. That was kind of my favorite class, but I have the most wins with Paladin. But yeah, it's literally just because the H's align. It's two syllables, and I thought it would work funny to capitalize all of HELLSCREAM. That's pretty much how it came about. Because I've always used the name Clark for my usernames, just because I'm used to playing games to where like you have to get the name first before somebody else takes it. So I've just stuck with Clark just because it's just it's a simple name I can take. But when I decided to make my Twitter, I thought I needed to have some kind of gimmick,
Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's actually really hard to claim Hydralisk on everything. Anytime
Yeah,
something
exactly.
comes out, I get an account. Get Hydralisk first. Someone's going to take Hydralisk. I need it.
But yeah, it was literally just a thought that I had, like, okay, this could work. I have no other better ideas. Might as well just roll with my name.
Plus, you can't forget that, right?
Honestly.
What's your username? Aha, my name.
Yeah, my username is my name. Congratulations, I'm already in your brain.
Have you seen that T-shirt, the one that says "Ride the HELLSCREAM" or something like that? I gotta find it.
Ride the HELLSCREAM? Was that like a roller coaster or something?
It's based on but it's got HELLSCREAM's face on it. It's awesome. I'll find it.
Yeah, it sounds like some kind of roller coaster you would go on, like Ride the HELLSCREAM at Six Flags.
Six Flags.
I almost said 4Kids.
Oh, good stuff. You guys have any questions for Clark before we move on?
I think.
No, I was curious about the username, but you had asked it, so I'm glad to find out. I was always curious.
Nice. All right. Hey, before we get too far into the show, I do want to say a big thank you to our patrons, especially Shokunin. Thank you so much for being the executive producer of our show. You help us keep the lights on here, especially with the website stuff, and really appreciate your help. So to Shokunin and Adam W. and all of our other patrons, thank you so much for supporting the show. If you guys are interested in doing that, we are in the process of working on our Patreon to get some pretty cool rewards coming. So you'll in the next week or so, hopefully, we can get some stuff out there. If you go to our website, it's borntobewildhs.com. You can find out more about it. And that being said, I will pass it off to Hydra.
So, how's everybody doing this week? I want to go start off with Mike first here, because I know he had a pretty cool week. Because usually when I want to relax for the evening and chill out, I like to throw on daily Hearthstone moments. It's just a fun thing that I like to do and watch. And I got a bit of a surprise, Mike.
You're muted.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Yeah, I got a bit of surprise too because I was streaming, and I forgot to tweet that I was live. So I went on there, and Earth Shatter had tagged me, and he said that I was at timestamp 404, and I was trying to figure out why. And then it dawned on me because I hit Legend the day before with Secret Mage, and it was a top deck Fireball for exact lethal.
Nice.
It was, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, who else was in this video? Ali Straza, Liquid Ox, top level people. So it's about time we get on there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's awesome.
It was one of those moments where it wasn't just you got a top deck. You asked for the top deck.
Oh yeah, I totally I called it.
You asked and you received.
It was
Love
an
it.
amazing moment.
Hey,
I'll put it in chat for those who haven't seen it.
Yeah, good times. And you said 404.
Yeah, timestamp's 404.
Awesome, and we'll link it in the show notes as well. So you had quite a week between new Tavern Brawlers video, you're featured on the Daily Hearthstone Funny Moments video, and then you hit Legend, right? That's always good. So
yeah.
So tell me about this a little bit. You said you were using Secret Mage.
Yeah, we're using Secret Mage.
Was that too? I hit right before Skullomance launched, and so I've just kind of been memeing out in like Dumpster Legend, but Dark Lair Warlock or Pain Warlock or whatever they're calling it has like made this resurgence and kind of been plaguing the ladder. So was this to tech against that, or what was your why Secret Mage?
Yeah, this was exactly for that, because playing against that deck, it's like they don't win if they don't get Dark Lair, and regardless if they do or don't, they're always tapping and then playing minions to make their life go down. So if they don't ever get the Spellstone, they're not gaining life back, and that's perfect for Secret Mage because I'm looking to do
just burn
two Cloud Princes and 2 Fireballs, and so yeah, they're doing half the damage for me. So I was playing other decks that kind of like let them come back, let them draw cards. So I just switched to Mage, and then it was a wrap.
That's
Awesome.
pretty cool. That's pretty smart.
There was a meme on Reddit that was going around for a while where it was call an ambulance, but not for me. For the Warlock.
Yeah,
it's the perfect way to describe that deck. But that's one way to call an ambulance for them. Like that's taking advantage of a weakness, which is probably why Blizzard would say that Dark Lair Warlock is balanced.
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's got a counter.
Like
it does have a way
if I knew somebody was bringing it, I would happily bring Secret Mage. Like I'm not saying the deck isn't good, but Secret Mage puts out damage. It doesn't stop.
It's always consistent too.
Yeah.
I can't remember who, but somebody was playing Control Warrior purposely just to counter it also.
We've kind of seen a resurgence of Odd Warrior, and then of all things, Dead Man's Hand Warrior.
Yeah, Reno Jackson's been playing that a lot, and I think Zeddy also played that a lot. He played it a lot the previous expansion, but I think he's also tried it out this with the new cards.
Yeah, so get this. I learned something new this week. I learned that there is a Discord specifically for people who play Dead Man's Hand Warrior, and it's got 150 people in it. Like, whoa. And that's all they do. It's called DMH Warrior Fan Club. It's crazy. I mean,
I didn't realize it had a cult following.
Right?
That's hilarious.
I had no idea. The deck is not easy to play. And,
no, I've never played it once in my life.
It's complicated. I don't even know how it works 100% myself.
Well,
but it revolves around popping off an infinite combo with with Cold Light Oracles. Sometimes you use like brawls for infinite removals, but essentially trying to cycle an infinite resources of cards that fatigue your opponent, clear the board, or give you life.
The only time I ever played it was actually before Bomb Warrior was a thing. I saw a list of Dead Man's Hand with Iron Juggernaut. And it was just so you can keep playing Iron Juggernaut. And I played that deck until I got my first win, and then that was it.
I mean, I think the deck is complicated though, where there's a different win con depending on what deck you're facing. Like you want to do different things, and so I don't know. It's definitely interesting. I don't have the patience for it personally, but it's cool. I mean,
Yep. Well, what about you, Nate? How was your week?
You know, it was kind of a standard, kind of boring week. But a couple cool things happened to me this week. So I got some stuff in the mail. So we'll show you guys my messy hair. But
Wait, you got mail?
I got this cool hat in the mail. I don't know if you
Mail's
guys
working.
can see that. Nice stitched logo there. And
Wow,
then
that's nice.
we got
Look good.
Hashtag threaded.
these. Turned out pretty good. So yes, very excited. Got some stuff in the mail. If you guys want that, is available on the website. So shameless self promotion there, but I'm really happy with how they turned out. So that's super cool. I am very excited because we've got a giveaway coming up. I don't want to get too much into it now, but we'll get there later, and that's always really fun. And then I think the last thing that I really had a good time last night. Actually, Aramorn and I did some co-op, and we played that big shaman deck that I've been playing, and we took it to Dad Legend, and that was really fun just to kind of chill, chat for a little while, and win some games. So yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty chill week and having a lot of fun.
Sweet. Sounds pretty good. So what about you, Clark? Anything interesting going on in your week this week?
Honestly, aside from just I just spent the past week with my girlfriend, just like honestly just relaxing and just spending time with her. She did a lot for me on my birthday. I feel kind of spoiled. But in any case, I've just been trying to find some new combos. I have a few ideas that I have written down, but I'm trying to come up with like another Skullomance combo video of just like some other ideas. And I'm even thinking about trying to find Mogu Cultist combos in every single class. But Jesus, Demon Hunter, dude, I don't even want to talk about it. Demon Hunter's the worst when it comes to thinking about combos. At least for every single class.
Yeah, right on. Well, for me, I'm pretty excited that it's Friday because Born to be Wild. It's always a good place to be. And work week's over, and I am off work all next week. And I've been looking forward to this for a long time because we've been so crazy busy at work, and I'm just ready to relax. My family and I are going to the Okanagan, and we're going to be right on the lake for the next, 8 days, 9 days, something like that.
Nice.
Staying out there. My parents are bringing this big RV. We're going to pop up some tents and give my son the camping experience. It's in a campground, and we're right on the water, and my dad's bringing his jet ski. So we're just going to be chilling in the hot weather and just relaxing, and very, very much looking forward to it.
Much needed, much deserved. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and so I won't be here for next week's show because that's where I'm gonna be. But I'm gonna see if while I'm out there, I have no idea if there's reception or not. But
you can watch.
Yeah, I was gonna say jump in.
Yeah,
chat.
I'll try to watch.
You can jump in chat.
Jump in chat and say hi.
So next week we've got Electric Sheep City filling in for Hydralisk, so that'll be fun.
Yes,
that'll be
and
fun.
He's good people.
He's super good people, and
so that's good.
That'll be a blast. Next week we've got Sneaky Pete as our guest on the show, so that'll be a lot of fun. With guest host Electric Sheep City. So
I messed up.
Yeah.
Can I go back?
Yeah.
For this week, I've been streaming in the mornings. I've been doing practice for THL. It starts next week. Been playing standard and wild. That legend run, it was 11-3. I forgot to say that before.
Nice.
11-3.
Yeah.
Wow, good time to play Secret
Mage. A bunch of warlocks. Yeah.
And I'm gonna see if also while I'm out there, if there is reception, if it's raining or at night, maybe I can sneak in a couple games on my phone or something. I was looking at the new Tempo Storm decks that they put out for the latest meta report, and I've been playing Kingsbane again, but basically they only changed, from what I could see, 2 cards. They took out the readers, the new Jeeves, and they just put in the 2 cutting classes, from what I can tell from the list that we were playing before. And the cutting class basically is almost always like a 0 mana draw 2, because it goes off of how big your weapon is. So I've been playing that, and it's been going over pretty good. But one other thing I wanted to do before we move on is I wanted to give a shout out to Young Hunt. We were talking about him before, Austin. I was in his stream last night, and I wanted to say get well soon, because him and his girlfriend both tested positive for coronavirus.
Yikes.
Oh no.
And she seems like she's pretty ill currently, and he's sort of coming out of it at the moment. And he was streaming last night, and I was watching, and she seemed pretty sick. And I just want to say, get well soon to those guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a bummer.
Yo, for real, I want to reach out to him. That's sad to hear.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, hopefully they recover quickly. I mean, that's I think some people are hit a lot harder by it. I don't know, but that's a shame. So
that's it for me for my week.
All right. Well, we do have also a brand new legend, and I'm very excited. This part of the show, we typically will shout out first-time Wild Legend players, and this time it's one of our friends from Discord. So Boric, congrats, first-time Wild Legend. That's super cool. And also, so we'll post it up in the Discord and stuff as well. And wanted to also give a shout-out. Like, the Discord is really turning into a community hangout, which I'm so happy about. And so I know when I was talking to Aramorn yesterday, he was kind of bummed because he hadn't hit D5 last month, and so he lost the 10 stars and was down to 9. And he they got in our Discord, did the voice chat, and did a bunch of co-op between Boric, who had just hit Legend, and Aramorn. And then we went and did some more last night. But that's super cool, just that people are hanging out. That if we can be a hub for that, like, I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but it just makes me happy inside. So that's super cool. And yeah, big shout out to Boric. So congrats on Legend.
Congratulations.
The first time.
Congrats on him.
First time always feels good. Well, they say, oh, you never forget your first time, right?
Never forget your first time.
So anyways, we have lots and lots and lots of news tonight. So I'm going to pass it over to Hydra for the news, but y'all feel free to chime in. There's lots to talk about. So
oh yeah, let's get right into it. We got nerfs right off the bat here.
Nerfs again?
Yeah, we got 2 big ones. We got
every time I come to the show. Sorry,
yeah. Kael'thas Sunstrider. So our favorite druid card.
right. I always forget that it's neutral because
yeah, so now it's every 3rd spell costs 1 mana instead of 0 mana. So I'm not somebody who has played with this card a lot, but I am somebody who has sat there and watched people cycle, like Clark.
Played a lot with it.
A lot of ultimate infestations and all this sort of thing. So how does it make you feel, Clark? How does this nerf look to you as somebody who plays this card?
Oh man, they nerfed my charge druid. I'm so upset. I literally had a deck that was themed around, doing Kael'thas cheese with like ultimate infestation and overflow and whatnot to play survival of the fittest with. Originally, it was just a Murloc combo, but then I decided to put Stone Tusk Boars, Argent Horse Riders, and Leroy and some other cards. Like pretty much, I had 10 charge minions. But in any case,
did you make
actual applications? Oh, go ahead.
Did you make a video or have a clip on that?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I saw that. Sorry to interrupt, but you made me remember. I saw that. We should link that video too.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy, But in any case, the issue with most Hearthstone nerfs in the past has always been the change from 0 mana to 1 mana, because free actions are just always going to be ridiculous no matter how overpowered they are. But Druid in particular, the fact that they have 5 card draw spells, and the fact that you can have, I mean, at least in Wild, you can have 4 of them, that's just way too consistent. And at least the 0 to 1 will prevent that from being so consistent, but it's just even more impossible for other classes to utilize Kael'thas. So like, it's kind of annoying how Druid is just kind of ruining this card for everybody.
Yeah.
We just all got it golden too.
I know, right? You can't even.
I literally just got it before too. Yeah, I decided to sit down with the adventure and actually get it.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's a shame that you can't disenchant if you want, because it's a free card. But
where's my Dust Blizzard?
Right. That's what we. This is the Hearthstone community wouldn't be the Hearthstone community if we didn't complain about the free stuff that they give us. Right.
This is true.
Oh, so you think is it only a matter of time before Sorcerer's Apprentice gets nerfed?
Whoa, slow down. Don't speak it into existence. Don't speak it into existence.
Here's my opinion on that. Like, Blizzard loves Exodia Mage and Archmage and Tinnitus, like, or at least loves to enable the possibility of it. So, like, I really don't think that they plan on making Sorcerer's Apprentice costs, or at least changing the ability of it, unless there's, like, a bunch of decks that really utilize it well. And right now in Standard, like, there's one deck that kind of can do it pretty well, but it's not really the greatest, while Wild still has, like, Quest Mage and stuff like that. So if Quest Mage gets kept in check, I really don't think that they're going to do anything to it. Just because they love the thematic aspect of having Exodia Mage and infinite fireballs and stuff.
Yeah. Otherwise, Antonitis never gets played.
Exactly.
Hey,
So.
just for funsies, like, because you were a Yu-Gi-Oh player, for the people who don't know, can you tell them how Exodia Mage got the name?
Okay, so I actually have an Exodia deck in the other room that I could literally pull the cards out for if you want me to.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
Let me go grab that. Give me 2 minutes. Yeah, let me like a minute or two.
Hey, that's good. That's super good. All right, you know what? I'm pausing the recording here until he gets.
Anyway, that's a different story.
All right, yeah. We're back. We're back.
So
Okay.
For those who are unfamiliar with what Exodia is, it's from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime card game, and there's essentially like only 5 pieces of your deck that you need to draw, and you automatically win the game. But it's disguised as 4 cards that are really weak. Like these are 1-star monsters with like 300 attack. Essentially, it's equivalent to like a 1-mana 1/1, except worse because Yu-Gi-Oh scales really, really high.
Yeah.
But there's the one card, Exodia the Forbidden One, where if you have this card plus all the other cards, you literally win the game instantly. So the whole point of these kind of decks is just to dig through your deck as fast as humanly possible, draw the 5 cards, and smack it down on the field like you're the biggest football player on the field. You know.
So you gather all 5 and you slam it down. You call Uno, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You say Exodia obliterate.
Yeah, and then your opponent reveals a reverse card, and then you're just baffled.
So it almost seems that the OTK Paladin, like Exodia Paladin, is closer to an Exodia than the Mage.
Yeah, because it's got the head as the hero, and then the 4 pieces, the 4 horsemen as the other pieces.
Oh yeah, sure.
I like
I've
it.
made that comparison in the past as well. Or in other cases where you use Beardo as the combo, then Beardo's the head.
I played that earlier this month. I was playing OTK Beardo Paladin. I took it to
my favorites.
I don't know. I took it to platinum somewhere, and then I just was hitting too much meta stuff. But God, it's so fun. It is so fun.
It is fun.
So, hey, big shout out also to Imic. I know he writes a lot of stuff for Hearthstone, but also he's been doing the visuals for these card nerfs. And then we always use his graphics, and they're so helpful to see what's changed.
Very well done.
Very well done.
Anyways, so what is the other one?
So the other one we have here is the the Priest Legendary Mind Renderer Elusia, which originally was 2 mana. It's now going up to 3 mana. So for this, I know a lot of people, when they were running it, either would save it for later in the game for reasons, but against aggro, they were just playing it out. You know, turn 2 at the beginning. If their opponent had coin, they would steal the coin, run that out, pass the hand back, and just sort of stump aggro.
Let me interrupt you for 2 seconds. Because I heard a really hot take on this that I thought was really funny. Is just as a you know, I don't know, like a move to like intimidate your opponent. You know, you're playing Reno Priest or something like that. You drop this on 2 and you show them like, I've got Raza, I've got Reno Jackson, I've got you know, Shadow Reaper
card, literally.
Yeah, you flex hard on your aggro opponent, and then you know they see your hand and then they just concede.
Oh my gosh! Why did I disenchant this? I gotta make this again.
I opened a golden one, so
yeah, me too. One other thought I had on this was from Walk to Work. Blister Guy was talking about how if you're planning on getting a full collection, like this card is still a good card and there's no real reason to get rid of it. But if you want the dust, like and you're nowhere near a full collection, then by all means dust it and get whatever you want. But if you're a collector, like Nate, you got this whole set, right?
Yeah.
So are you going to keep it?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I'm probably just going to make it again because I have almost a complete set. I think I'm going to reverse that.
I mean, here's the deal, right? If you can get full dust value and you're trying to make some other deck, like you could dust this and pick a different legend that you want. I mean, I don't know. If you have a gold one, you could dust it and craft, you know, 2 legends or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, I still think... I don't think that the nerf actually did all that much. Like, when you really want to use this is like when you're right after your opponent plays Geppetto, or right after your opponent plays, you know, like a Juicy Psych Melon on 10 mana or whatever, like, and disrupt their combo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that it's significant enough to...
I think it's still good.
I don't know. Yeah, and if nothing else, like, you get to see what they have. You get to steal their card draw that turn. Like, it's not a bad card. Yeah, I don't know. I don't find the nerf to be that significant. Frankly, I'm surprised that they didn't touch. I was saving. God, what is it called? The Mana Bloom or Lightning Bloom or whatever. It's the
Lightning Bloom.
I'm surprised they didn't touch that one. I've saved up a bunch of copies. I haven't dusted anything yet, and I'm surprised that they didn't touch Secret Passage. Like a 1 mana draw 5 seems pretty darn good. So
I'm still be coming.
I'm kind of glad they didn't.
I know. I still need my 1K rogue, so I'm
yeah.
I don't mind, but I'm surprised. I was expecting more, but you know, I don't know. It's interesting. Yep. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Mind Render particularly is an interesting case because this kind of ability, like, it's not even about how powerful it is. It's about how badly the opponent's going to feel if they get absolutely dunked by this card, which has already happened. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this on Twitter, but people have literally started the hashtag delete priest. And I'm pretty sure it's almost single-handedly because of this card.
Oh my god. So I don't normally play standard, right? But I'm just trying to finish up my 1K heroes. And so I've been playing big recruit warrior in standard kind of in my free time, and I got dunked on so hard by priest over the last couple of days that I don't normally like rage and post about it on Twitter, but like, god, steal all my cards, like kill all my cards, reduce all the health, and then steal them, and then kill what's left. Was so mad, like I was ready to launch my computer out the window. And
yeah, and like
that's not me.
The worst case scenario with this kind of card is like very basic example is if you're fighting against a combo, if you as a priest are fighting against a combo deck and you play out this card, not only do you get to take their combo and completely use all of their cards, but then suddenly you switch back, and then you're back to using your original deck after you've just completely laid waste to any hopes that they had of winning the game. And it's just like, I'm not a fan personally of this kind of design, and it really doesn't help that I personally don't like the playstyle of Priest. But like, I really feel like they're gonna have to like look out for like the possibilities that this card has, because it still can steal hero cards on turn 10 theoretically. There's other ways of like not necessarily playing it on turn 2, but there's still ways of playing it in the early mid game that kind of disrupts people. But like, you do have to play it well, and that's the only major defense I have for it, is that in order to play this card correctly, you have to time it well.
I agree. It's not a free win or something. I think I've heard a lot of the pros say that it's really a skill testing card. It's not. I mean, you have to be careful when you play it. It's got to be very strategic. You've got to do it the right way. So I think it's fine. I think at 3 mana, I don't think that anybody that's playing it in Reno Priest is going to pull it out. I mean,
no, definitely not.
So, and that primarily is the reason why I'm keeping it in gold.
Yeah.
The other thing to keep in mind is that Priest can easily find other copies of legendaries, especially with like Galakron. I mean, and in Wild, it's pretty common to get extra copies of this minion if you have Raise Dead. Like, that's been like the go-to for Priest. Like every single Priest I've seen has been playing Raise Dead because it's just such a good card. But yeah, getting multiple copies of these kind of minions is the main reason why Priest tends to be, I guess, uninteractive to play against, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, and I will admit that I totally underestimated Raise Dead. I think now that I've played a little bit of it, played against it, you can control really easily what cards you're getting back. Like,
yeah,
very easily. And so, like, you can get Zephyrs, you can get Reno Jackson, you can get Kazakus, whatever. Like, it's really easy to, track those. And so, oops.
Still a good card.
Yeah. All
okay.
right.
Well, next we have, I don't know if you guys remember, 2 weeks ago, we talked about the Felosophy Bundle.
Yeah.
Where it came to the store, some people could get it. It disappeared. Some people had issues buying it when it was there. It didn't work. Well, it's actually back, and you can buy it. And for what I can tell, it's an extremely good deal. It comes with 2 legendaries from Scholomance, and then you get 10 packs from Ashes of Outland and 10 packs from the Year of the Dragon packs. And so for $20, it's, I mean, if you want to, complete your collection or build it more, it's totally a good deal. I personally got 4 legendaries out of it.
Holy crap.
It's value.
It is. Well, it's
$20 for legendaries.
$1 a pack.
That's awesome.
Plus the 2 guaranteed. Yeah. I was going to ask, did you guys, number 1, did you guys get it? And number 2, if so, did you open anything good?
Yeah, well, that was me. How about you guys?
I mean, for me personally, it was kind of funny because the 2, I posted it in the Discord, but the 2, I had bought both pre-orders for Scholomance, and so the 2 guaranteed legends that I opened in gold were the same 2 legends that I got from the Philosophy Bundle in normal. It's just kind of fun. It was kind of funny, but it was cool, and I don't mind. What I really liked, though, I was opening up the packs, and I opened up a golden. What is it? The thing from below? Is that what it's called? No. The little kaiju, the Godzilla, the shaman legend that does 3 damage to something, and if it kills it,
the lurker from below.
The lurker below, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude, it looks really cool in gold. So I am super happy with that. Yeah. Did you get it, Mike?
No, I did not get the bundle.
We'll have to hook you up. We'll make it happen, Mike.
I appreciate that.
All right, Clark, did you buy it?
No, I didn't get it. I was lucky to get the pre-order, so I'm not trying to get any more packs. I've been riding off the dust in my collection in order to get cards that I need.
I feel you. Hey, so some good news for everyone out there, we were going to do a giveaway, but instead of doing one giveaway, we're doing 2 giveaways. So
Two.
we will do one out of pocket, and then Shokunin, the executive producer of our show, offered to pitch in and provide a second one. So Mike, awesome. You want to tell people how they can be entered in the drawing for one of these bundles?
I would love to do that. Let me see. So these bundles are available until August 31st. So for our giveaway, is this what we discussed, Nate?
Yeah. We can do the
YouTube
thing, and then we can announce the winners on next week's show.
Yeah. So to enter the giveaway, you're gonna want to follow. We're gonna subscribe to our YouTube page. So go to youtube.com/born-to-be-wild HS.
It's
we have podcast.
They wouldn't let us change it there. So
YouTube. Oh, we can change it there? That's messed up. All right, so youtube.com/born-to-be-wild podcast. Go subscribe to our page now to enter the giveaway, and we'll announce it next week on the show.
So yeah, excited for that. And
we'll put out a tweet too.
Yeah. A little shameless self-promotion, but
of course,
but
shameless keyword.
Oh, it's such a good deal though, and I don't know. I've seen so many people like bragging about what they got, and you get 2 legendaries.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of nice, because if it's just packs, you're really not guaranteed anything, and I always feel bad when I watch someone like Hydra open up 4 legends and then I get 0. Like, what is that? That's not, that's not fair.
It's also legendaries from the new expansion. So like, if you're trying to get something in particular, you can maximize your chances.
Yeah, and remember too that there's the no duplicate protection for all cards of all rarities now. So it's just gonna fill out that collection nicely. So I think that's pretty cool. Next in the news here is Play Hearthstone is having an invitational coming up. It's on August 25th. It starts at 9 a.m. Unfortunately, it's standard, so we don't really have too much to say on it, except...
I was going to say, tell us why we care about that?
We care about this for only one reason, is what we were just talking about, is packs. If you want some packs, you can watch it on Twitch. There are Twitch drops for the first 2 hours. You'll get a couple packs, and then, or 1 pack. Do you get 1 or 2?
I think it's 4 hours. You get 2 packs. I don't know how that works.
So yeah, one pack the first hour or first 2 hours, and then another pack after the 4 hours. So if you're trying to fill out that collection, you like watching Hearthstone, throw it on. If you don't like watching standard Hearthstone, throw it on in the background. Play Wild. Right?
I will tell you. So this happened. I think it was last week. Was it that they gave away 2 Ashes of Outland packs on accident as Twitch drops? And they, they went to say, we didn't actually mean to do that, but we're letting you keep the packs.
Wow.
And so I saw
saying it would have been too difficult for them to revert it.
Right. Yeah. I think it was Ben Hearthstone that posted like, hey, this is happening. I just got packs just for watching. What's going on? I think that Twitch drops are enabled right now or something. And so I was doing something else, but I threw up somebody's stream in the background and went to do whatever I was doing and came back a couple hours later and logged in and got my free packs. It was awesome. So, and then they disabled it pretty quick, but
oops.
Clark, did you say you got it?
Yeah, I got them as well. Nice. I usually watch the streams, especially if they're on Twitch. But then, yeah, I just got them randomly. I don't think I got anything particularly useful, but still, free packs are free pack.
Right?
Nothing like the rest.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. If you've seen like the little Hearthstone animated shorts, there's the one, I don't know any of the names of the characters, but there's that one of that blood elf guy, and he's like throwing the card, and it goes into the bottle and turns into dust. Like, that's what it's like. Every time I open packs, it's like dust. I love it. It's so... But
yeah, sometimes we got to remember that the people of Blizzard, they are just people like us too, right?
Well,
they make mistakes.
And the crazy thing is, like, you know, we're still living under like COVID-19 conditions, and a lot of these folks are working from home, which is not easy. I don't know. I did it for a couple weeks, and it was not particularly fun or easy. And so,
It doesn't sound fun.
No.
It's difficult for sure.
And speaking of mistakes, Blizzard posted a video featuring the card Disciplinarian Gambling.
Ooh.
Oh god,
Yeah.
that was really funny.
And so in the video, they featured like a lifelike looking version of the card, and it had different text than what the card actually has in game. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Normally, it says after you play a minion, destroy it and summon a 4/4 failed student. But in the video, it said a 5/5 failed student.
I got so excited about that. I was because
it looked like a buff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like, they're buffing it.
It
I'm
was
gonna
like, this
try
guy's
to-
not played enough. They're going to play it more now.
Well, and when we did our, let me see here. When we did our card reveal show, I thought, sorry, I was playing the video in the background, so people might have heard it, but I thought that it was going to be a lot better than it turned out to be. Like I thought it was going to be some kind of meta defining craziness, and it really is not.
I still haven't played it.
At
It's
least
because it's a setup card. That's the main reason why.
Yeah.
Like, even if they were to make this to a 5/5, which I'm assuming I'm assuming they were like, yeah, let's learn from Quest Rogue and not make 5/5 ruin the game again.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the biggest thing about this card is that you have to set up, or you have to make your deck essentially centered around this, and there's just more consistent ways of dealing damage and setting up big boards for Warlock specifically.
Blizzard ended up responding because everyone was speculating, right? And so they responded and they said, oops, sorry. This was actually what the card used to read before we released it, and it was updated, and I guess they made the video before they decided on what the final text said.
Yeah, I think it was Celestalon said, yeah, that's what we did in in their testing or whatever. And I don't know, it's still like Clark was saying, it's a setup card, and so it's really difficult to actually pull off. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 4-mana 3/6, and they're going to have to kill it. I've tried it a little bit, and it's not quite as good as I was hoping it would be. Like, you play with eggs or something like that, but I don't know, it was a little bit underwhelming.
What about any zero-cost minions?
Yeah, playing wisps and stuff. There are some people that are trying that in standard as well.
It might be okay. I don't know.
I'm just
But with Dark Glare Warlock running amok and wild, I don't really know how applicable this card would be in the meta.
yeah, good point.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, well, it's funny, like you said, right? Yeah, they're only human, so...
Yeah, they're only human. They make mistakes. I see ridiculous mistakes at work all the time, especially since I'm in the quality department.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy. I get to tell everybody all of their mistakes.
Oh, you
Yeah.
screwed up. Sorry to
Yeah.
be the bearer of bad news.
Well, you know how we're always talking about how Blizzard doesn't care about Wild? Well, they decided to actually feature our friend Raffle in a video, which was pretty cool. He made a video where he talks about all the dual class cards and synergies and how you can break them in Wild.
He's the professor of wild studies.
The professor of wild studies, and he's
Okay.
wearing this little jacket, and he's got a wand in his hand. And yeah, he goes and he talks about all the different synergies and things that you can do. I'm sure there's even more, but it was neat because it was on the Play Hearthstone Twitter.
Yeah, he made the splash
And-
page of the client. It was awesome.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And there was a really funny part where he was talking about Wand Thief, and the card pops up, and then he does this thing where he looks down at his wand real quick to make sure it's still there, and then he keeps talking.
That's clever. I like that.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. It was nice to see somebody that's put in a lot of time and effort into streaming Wild.
Mm-hmm.
And he's usually playing meme decks and all that stuff. And he got recognized. He got featured. So hats off to Raffle for that one.
Yeah, and speaking of hats, we're a bunch of old dudes that really love puns, and so anything, and Ridiculous Hat is the king of puns. So, but
yes.
Anyways,
yes, he is.
That's super cool though. It's like every time we think that they forgot about Wild, they're like, no, we remembered you. And so that's cool. It's always, I think, especially, I can't really speak for Standard. I really can't, but I think that we have seen time and time again in the Wild community that we are very, I don't know, just a bunch of cool people, nice people trying to lift each other up. And there's really not very much drama. And I like to celebrate other people's successes. And so, when somebody makes it, it's like, wow, that's cool. So we saw Hat get on the front page doing a featured stream.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
That was awesome.
We see Raffle up
Very
here,
cool.
and that's super cool. And so that's cool. It's only a matter of time before Clark is up there. It's only a matter of time. I'm telling you. I think us
improve my video quality just a little bit, but maybe.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yet, but my DMs are open.
You can do the drum track in the next set announcement video.
Hey, listen, check this out. We've been talking about this over the past week, where we saw Chris Sierra, who is one of the community managers for Hearthstone, post a drum solo on his Twitter page, and then we see Clark playing drums, and we're like, oh, we need to do a drum off here, and we can facilitate. That's cool.
I've already reached out to him about that. Actually, the only issue is that he has to go to a studio to get a drum kit. He doesn't have his available. I've already added him on Twitter, and yeah. I essentially did a little drum bit where it's like, hey Chris, I challenge you.
Yeah, I caught that a little bit. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He was like, check my pinned tweet, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so in the chat, by the way, we've got our buddy Armorn saying, "Hey Clark, because of you, he crafted Finja for Anyfin Paladin." So,
that's
Shout
my
out.
favorite deck. Anyfin Paladin was the very first deck that I ended up hitting rank 1 legend in Wild. I was the very first person to make it in that season. And I was using it was a deck that was somewhat known, but people weren't playing it very well. So I decided to. It was oh god.
is this back when Call to Arms was only 4? Wait, sorry,
what?
what'd you say?
I was just saying how I was hitting rank 1 with the Murloc Paladin list, which is what he was referencing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Was this back when Call to Arms was only 4?
No, this is when Call to Arms was 5. This
Okay.
was after the Wild Open, because that was the deck that I had used to qualify for and get my placement.
Okay, nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I love Finja in Anyfin Pally because it'll pull all your combo pieces. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, it's 100% underrated. A lot of people just don't understand the synergies, because if you put charge minions, then suddenly the Murlocs matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so next on our list in the news here is something where Blizzard is finally taking some steps towards acting on Nor's Dormu. There's been a lot of talk about that card lately, just because there are certain, it can skip your turn, but B, there's people that actually cannot play with that card based on their physical restrictions. Like people like Mirak and No Hands Gamer have issues playing against cards like that because they can't react and play in time, right? And Blizzard has done something because the only reason anybody ever actually has that card on the board is when it comes out of one of the dream portals from Ysera. And so they have removed this card, Notice removed from that pool. So you will no longer get that summoned off of one of the dream portals, which is a pretty nice quality of life thing to a lot of people. And we'll see what happens. They're talking about changing the classic set in the future. We don't know if this card is always going to be around in the way that we see it now, if it'll rotate to wild at some point, but it's something for now.
Yeah, the biggest thing about Norse Dormo is that, it, like you said, it wasn't really being played in any other decks, and the only time that it was actually doing well was when it skipped your opponent's turn, because they fixed it once, which kind of helped the time, because the biggest issue is that the 15 seconds starts when your opponent ends their turn, and the amount of times you have to wait for the animations to pop off, like suddenly that just eats into the actual 15 seconds that you have. And I wish that there was a way to prevent that from happening, because I personally love the flavor of Norse Dormu. I think it's like one of those Hearthstone cards out there. But if it's literally going to continuously be a problem, as it has been, especially with Ysera, I'm not sad to see it gone from the Dragon portals.
I'm not either, but I tell you what, I don't know, I always liked playing Nozdormu. I mean, everyone used to think it was a meme card, but what is it? It's an 8-mana 8/8, and 9 mana or 9 mana. For me personally, this is probably a negative, but I typically will play my turns very quickly, and so if I've got an opponent who's playing slow, I loved dropping Nozdormu because it really it makes them scramble. But I understand that it causes broken interactions, so I get it. And I was looking, sorry, Imik gave us an update about something I was looking, but did you guys mention what they had talked about as one of the beta cards that made your screen turn upside down? Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, I remember about that, yeah.
We talk about making things impossible. So I get it. I mean, what we have seen time and time again in the past is them kind of nerfing things that are unfun to play against, or things that can cause the game to break. And so I don't know. I think we've all been on the receiving end of the rope lasting 3 minutes, even though it's not supposed to, because someone has gone full APM. And anyways, so it is what it is, but I think that is a good thing. Zeddy's been yelling about this for the last 5 months, so
yeah, I bet.
Well, he posted something earlier today about they finally listened to me after 5 months. It's but
well, the last thing we have to talk about here in the news is the cupcake card back fiasco, where it's a card back that a lot of people want that they don't have, and like we had with the Philosophy Bundle, there was a bit of an error. As far as I know, it was supposed to be back. It sort of was. It went away. It's another issue. We had one of the community managers make a comment that Imik just sent to us saying, "Hey everyone, the cupcake card back was not intended to be available during this time. However, we do have plans to make this available through the shop, as we did with the Naxxramas card back in the near future. Stay tuned." So it was another one of those, oops, we released it early and we took it back.
Push the wrong button.
No, but when you look at it in your collection in Hearthstone and you read the text, it says something very similar to the Ragnaros one or the Naxxramas one, where it says, first available in, March of 2015 or whatever it says. And then it says also available during Scholomance Academy launch period or something like that.
Is that how people came about this, or did people actually see it in the store?
No. It was never in the store. We saw it in client. We saw it in client under the card description. And
I tried looking for it I tried looking for it in the store when I heard that everyone was talking about it. It's back, and I couldn't find it.
No, yeah, but even right now, if you log into Hearthstone and you look at it in your collection, look at the look at the description of it. Yeah.
Yeah, do people really care that much about card backs? Because I personally I mean, there's a few that I want just because I want the rainbow and I want the blue one, like the ice crown. I think that's what it's called. But are there people that really care about the card backs that much?
Unfortunately, there are. I'm one of them. I need everything.
I was gonna say the answer to that is yes.
I don't know why, but it's a collector's thing. I don't know.
I'm using it just because people don't have it now.
You're a jerk.
The flex.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Oh God, yeah, we'll have to change your name to Flex Low.
Flex. I'll take it.
Let me see
Flex
here.
Low.
Yeah, here I'll show you. I've got it. Mike just sent it over, so you.
It's just a cupcake. I don't get it.
People seem to love it.
There it is. It says it here. Acquired from achieving rank 20 in rank play in April 2015.
Oh,
or by purchasing it during the Skullomance Academy launch period. So that's where it comes from. But so everyone got all excited. It's and then we have this eternal argument over, does re-releasing old card backs invalidate like longtime players? Does anybody really care?
You got to have it for 5 years. Like, there's a certain point where you have to get over it. Like, they're gonna re-release this stuff because there's gonna be newer players that literally never would have been able to have the opportunity to have this. And if they really want to spend 500 gold on them, then let them.
Yeah. Right. Whatever.
And don't worry, those people that just paid 500 gold for it and they're new, they're still at bronze 5. Like, you can show yours off at Legend.
It's I really don't think that the aesthetic should be where people have their stresses on Hearthstone.
You know, I'll tell you what.
We live in a Fortnite world, right?
That's true.
Oh, it's because of Fortnite?
Where they got all their skins. Everybody wants their skins. I've got an 11-year-old who plays Fortnite who obsesses over, like, when new skins come back and needs to get the skin that he missed from season 2.
That's hilarious. But you know what? I mean, when we talked about it last week, but they did that survey, and I had the opportunity to take it, and like 90% of the survey was about skins and alternate art and cosmetic updates. And I think some people, I don't know, when we talk to, some folks still use like the classic Hearthstone card back and just don't care at all. And then
I do.
There you go. And then some folks, lose their mind over the cosmetic stuff. And unfortunately, I am kind of in the same boat as Hydralisk, where like I just eat that stuff up, man. I cannot help it. I wish that I didn't care. And I absolutely love it. So I don't know. For me, it take my $3. So whatever. One thing that we haven't touched on yet, but I thought we saw it real late in the day, was that if you all remember those emails that we used to get from Blizzard about our monthly, like your month in Hearthstone.
Yeah, stats.
Yeah.
I love
the ones that make you want to play better.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was always funny because they'd have a bunch of like random information where I really
35% priest this month.
Well, you played against players from 35 different countries. Okay.
Oh, world traveler. Yeah.
But I liked seeing the stats. I really did, and then they just like mysteriously vanished. So I saw this first posted from our buddies at Out of Cards, and there's a quote from Chris Sierra. He says, let's see, I'm just gonna read the quick article and then the quote. Do you guys remember the period of time when where with every season reset we would get an email showing our stats for that month, relating to our top played class, highest win rate, most games played, etc. Chris says, quote, "There is an issue that is preventing the stats from being pulled correctly. We plan on bringing these back, but no specific ETA on that. Stay tuned." So at least they acknowledged it, which I think is super cool, and excited to get those back. I always thought it was fun. I mean, I don't know. A lot of the information was kind of random, but it was always cool to get. So
it was opt-in too, wasn't it though? Because not everybody got it. I think you had to opt into the emails.
It was opt-in, like in the settings you have to enable. But you know, I mean, it's just a mouse click. It's pretty easy.
Because I remember everybody else was getting them, and I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of like when I made a tweet about talking about wild esports. Like this is kind of like, I guess, loosely related, but like the biggest thing that Blizzard, I would say the biggest problem that Blizzard has that people need to keep a pristine mind to is the fact that they have a lot of lack of resources when it comes to people who understand like the history of stuff. So like pulling the information correctly for like stats is very, very important. But like at the same time, it can be related to like all the other things that people want from Blizzard, like a tournament mode or spectator mode or esports for Wild and stuff. I really feel like people have to be keen on the fact that they don't have as many people as they would need to do these things correctly.
I agree with you like about 1,000,000,000%. And I will tell you, no, I mean, for real, like I work in management, and a lot of what I do is project management and resource management, and everybody always wants everything and they always want it right now. And I think that it's important for people to keep in mind, you know, you have to prioritize your wants and your needs, and realize that, you know, we always joke about like, oh, small indie company, right? But realistically, we are currently living in a pandemic where people are working from home. We have seen a lot of layoffs at Blizzard, and then they're hiring a lot of new people. And what that means when you get new people is that you need to train new people. And they can only work on so many projects at a time. Also, they're always working on the expansions. Like, they're already done with the next expansion, right? I mean, I'm sure they're probably fine-tuning it right now. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes that nobody realizes. And so how would we really want them to allocate their resources? Like, do we care that much? Like, would I rather have tournament mode, or would I rather have this monthly email? Like, I would take the tournament mode in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, tournament.
And so,
for sure,
you know, it's stuff like that I don't think that. I mean, Clark, basically, I agree with you. Everybody wants their cake and eat it too, but in some regards, like we need to have like reasonable expectations. What I do like is that when they did that AMA last week, one of the things that Ben, their lead game designer or whatever his title is, was saying that they really want the game to stay fresh. They want it to stay something that keeps people coming back for years and years and years to come. And frankly, like, I would like that too, because this is where all my extra money goes. So anyways, I don't know. People dump on the devs all the time, and it cannot be an easy job. I think where, you know, people are constantly criticizing what you're doing all the time. And so I don't know, I like to do a little appreciation every once in a while, that like, hey, we see what you're doing, we really like it.
Agreed.
So the last one I got was in October 17th 2019.
So it's been almost a year. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what, it is what it is. I do think, you know, if they can figure it out and they can get it back, that's super cool. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. I think Armorn and Chad is saying that their databases must be gigantic, and I know that we've like there are literally millions of people playing. So yeah, I don't know how you catalog all that stuff. They do have like I know they've got live leaderboards, so they definitely have access to some. But honestly, like, I appreciate if Chris is saying that there's a problem with the data coming out accurately. Like, I'd rather have them fix it and have accurate data than get something and have it wrong.
Being told lies,
right? Or you know, or you get something and it's got a bunch of random crap on it. Like, I don't care how many. Like, I play in NA. How many other countries am I gonna like play against, or do I care that my win rate with Rogue last month was 10%? Like, no, not
Warrior specifically.
Against Warrior specifically, right? I mean, it was like so oddly specific that I don't know. I mean, if they could, pull back the curtain and let us see what's under the hood, I do think that would be super cool. But it sounds like they've got a lot in store as far as some kind of reworks, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some kind of UI rework for the game as a whole. And who knows? I mean, maybe one of these days we'd be able to see some of this stuff in client. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be. Oh, now you're talking.
That'd be dope, right?
That'd be sweet. Yeah.
Well, we start so with Battlegrounds. You see your MMR.
We have access to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. And I do think that over the years they have gotten better and better and better about communicating. And really, that's all that anybody wants, right? It's just, hey, keep us in the loop. We just want to know what's going on. So, anyways, I have gone down the rabbit hole about as far as I am going to go. I know, Mike, here's maybe an interesting, maybe a controversial topic, right? I know Mike wanted to chat about, over the past week, we saw all of these meta snapshots being released. So Tempo Storm did their bi-weekly wild meta snapshot. Alpha Core just released a new one. And then Slizzle also put together his like best decks video, and he says that he won't call it a tier list because it's just a compilation of good decks to climb with. But I think it was interesting. We were chatting about this in Discord, and we see their picks for tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And Mike had said he disagreed with it, and I was really interested to. Like, oh, that is a hot take, and I am interested to chat about that a little bit and see what your thoughts were.
Yeah, so obviously respect to them. This isn't me trashing on anyone.
Oh, no, absolutely. And this is a bunch. I mean, I guess, sorry, Mike, I don't mean to cut you off, but let me say, like, these are all friends of ours that write these things, and absolutely, there's no disrespect meant.
Yeah.
But it's always curious to see what they say.
Oh yeah, and of course I respect the list. I'll be playing the decks they put on their list. I was just caught off guard when I saw Temple Storm and Alpha Cord. How low, and it may be because I just hit Legend, but just for my play this month, how low they have Secret Mage rated. I feel it's a great matchup versus Odd Rogue and even Shaman. I feel like it should be higher than them. Some games, I can sneak against Big Shaman, so maybe it's going to be lower than that. I've always felt Secret Mage beat Quest Mage, so I didn't see how Quest Mage, even after the nerf to 8, got up to his 4th place. But I just feel like it should be rated way higher on this Tempo Storm list. I understand Dark Glare is, the new hotness. Everybody's playing it and loving it. But I haven't lost to it with Secret Mage. Maybe it's just my smaller sample size. I can play more, kick the numbers up, come back next week and give a bigger sample there. But it's just sad to see Secret Mage ranked at 11 in tier 2. I feel like it should be way higher.
Question about your Secret Mage. Does it run any new cards?
Nope.
So the one I played, it didn't, and then I got educated by NHL fan. At the time, he was ranked 1 wild, literally, and then I think he slipped down to 4. Doesn't matter. He's up there with Memnarch, Corbett, Jack. He told me that he wants to take out 1 Nether portal to put in Lore Keeper Polkelt. So when we find Polkelt, now we can get Alaneth, and now we can draw a top in and burn and kill them out faster. Which I actually like that tech a lot. So I want to try that list out. The one on the site I saw was like a Reno spell, a Secret Mage. Tried it. It just wasn't my style. Maybe better players than me can push it higher. I just like the Secret Mage we have now.
Yeah, so the reason why I asked that is because we probably still have a lot of people that are really focused on making use of the new cards or making use of the new archetypes that have emerged. Mm-hmm. So people are probably going to be a lot more skeptical of decks that really haven't changed at all too much.
Okay, so to focus on new stuff and not, I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Focus on the new stuff and the flashy stuff. And honestly, a lot of people won't look to Secret Mage for like terms of like innovation and stuff like that, because the deck really hasn't changed much in the past couple expansions.
Heard you. Okay.
It's funny because when we talk about Secret Mage, like or Wild in general, when we're deck building, it's almost not even like what cards are good, it's what cards have the most synergy. And Secret Mage almost suffers from like too much synergy. It's crazy. Like of all the decks that exist, it is probably, in my opinion, it is probably the most synergetic deck in the game. Like there's so many cards that fit together so well, like that, and the deck is like probably as optimized as it's going to be. I like the idea of adding Polkelt to the deck and see how it goes. Like if you can use it to guarantee you're going to pull Aluneth, I like that idea. It's worth a try.
And something else to point out is that this expansion, we didn't get a new Mage Secret. Like we got a Road Secret, but like we didn't get a new Mage Secret, and I don't think that's happened in a while.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point.
So here's...
Well, yeah, have you seen a deck tracker when you play secrets nowadays?
Yeah, it's pretty...
The secret bar, it takes the whole screen up.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so here's my kind of hot take on this. And I was joking with Mike, like, oh yeah, I've hit Legend for the last 5 months in a row with tier 2 decks. But here's, I think when it comes down to me, and I'm going to put my lawyer hat on for a second, is that you have to look at what do they mean by tier S, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And so when we're looking at tier 1, they say that means it's a well-optimized deck with extremely efficient and overwhelmingly powerful combos and card synergies that make losing against these decks feel helpless and unfair. Tier 2 says competitive decks that have a few slight weaknesses, for example, poor comeback mechanics or draw consistency, can still take games off top-tier decks with tech switches. And so I think that I mean, I think if you follow those definitions, if you will, like I'm fine with their snapshot. I think it's good. What is interesting to me is for me personally, when I see all of the cards listed, I look at, okay, what do they consider tier 1? But I don't put them in order. I think like the 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know that that necessarily means anything, except that there's 4 that made it to tier 1. Like when I see tier 2 and there's 14 decks, like I don't know that they're necessarily listed in order. Maybe they are. But
yeah, and that's something that I actually wanted to point out, is that just because, you know, okay, so in the Tempo Storm meta snapshot, Reno Priest is number 1 and Cube Warlock is number 12. That doesn't mean that like you can only play Reno Priest in order to do well, and that means Cube Warlock isn't considered like you shouldn't just immediately dismiss it because it's quote unquote 12 on the tier list.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought they were all in order. Okay, I apologize.
No.
They're trying their best to order them, probably, but like and at the end of the day, it's really hard to list these in an exact order when it's like this is the best deck, this is the second best deck, and then this is the 8th best deck. Like it's really hard.
Yeah, well, and I think that I agree with you, and also the frequency that this stuff changes. It's very interesting where. Like we've seen over the past week where Darkglare Warlock is like the new hotness and everybody's playing it. And I think once like the shine wears off after, you know, a week or so, we'll be trying something different. You know, I mean, we see the meta shift very frequently. And it also depends where you're at. Like I know the top Legend players are doing it, but like last night at D5, like we played for what 2-3 hours last night, a couple hours, I don't know, and I saw the deck 0 times, and so it just you know, it just depends. I don't know. The other thing I think that is important is that at the end of the day, these are just opinions. Like these are human beings with opinions, and they're very smart, remarkably talented players with opinions. So I give them a lot of you know, credibility, but at the end of the day, like, you know, it doesn't mean that anybody's infallible, right? So,
yeah.
But I think it's an interesting discussion for sure. And I don't always like playing the tier 1 decks. I think that, at least for me personally, I want to collect all my 1K portraits, and so My favorite classes, like I love Warlock, I love Mage, I love Paladin. Paladin was my first 1K class, and I barely play them now because I've already got the 1K portrait, and I'm trying to jam out the decks that I don't play as much. Shaman, Warrior, Rogue are my last 3. And so that's what I've been playing the last 3 months. Lots of Kingsbane, lots of big Shaman, lots of Recruit Warrior, lots of Pirate Warrior, just to try to jam out those wins. And so getting these, like, I still want to know, what do you guys consider the best Warrior decks, or whatever. So it's super cool.
I want to know what the best Druid deck is, because I told you guys, my Druid is brutal. Like, I think I'm still sitting at, like, after playing this game for 5+ years, I don't even think I've broken 200 wins with Druid.
What?
Yeah.
There's been so many.
Wow.
Yo.
Okay. I got you. I posted a list in the Discord earlier today. It's a new token Druid deck.
Oh, the aggro Druid from the Chinese server?
Yeah, you will win. You will win.
I got that code right here.
You will win or you will lose by turn 5. It's quick games. I will tell you that. At least it's quick games. If you need those wins,
let's do it. It's so like the class does not speak to me. I've only those wins that I do have were Jade Druid when it was standard, and that's it.
You're an aggro player at heart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, try
this is
Aggro Druid should speak to you in volume.
This is the deck for you.
Sounds good. We'll be jamming that then.
All right.
Giverling is OP.
I was talking to last month for a little while. And,
sorry, shout out to Ari Marn. Yes, Taunt Druid as well. I do have Taunt Druid wins. The Hydronox. That is true. Ari Marn.
Yes. That's a super fun deck. Duin just started streaming recently over the last couple weeks or so, and he posted a list last night. I know he plays Hunter 99% of the time, but he posted a Hydralisk Druid, and
Hydralisk Druid.
It looks super fun. So, anyways, yes, try this. But I was saying last month I've been hitting Legends super early, and then I'll kind of meme out. I was chatting last month with Alpha 110 from the Alpha Chord server, and he's like, "Hey, try this token Druid." And I was like, "Eh." He's like, "No. It's really fast. It's surprisingly good. Just try it." And I went like 8-0 with it in the Legend ladder. It was just people. I'll tell you, the beautiful thing about it, like an aggro Druid or a taunt Druid, is that everybody, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but in my experience, everybody mulligans wrong for it because they think you're playing Jade, they think you're playing Malygos, they think you're playing, Kel'Thas Druid or some kind of combo Druid. And so they're not looking for early removal, and you can swarm them so fast and so hard when they mulligan wrong. It's awesome. It's beautiful. I think you will like it.
Cool.
And you know what? If you lose, like you can concede by turn 5 and just start.
Yeah, give me that list
and start the next one. Yeah, it runs in big in. So getting a 5/5 patches is always fun. So. Anyways, I think that is all we have for kind of news and meta discussion. For those of you watching, for those of you listening, in the show notes, we will post these tier lists. They are on our Discord as well. So I recommend you check these out. Like we were saying, we've got friends, particularly with Tempo Storm, but also Alpha Chord and Slizzle, and they put a lot of time into these meta lists, and it's good stuff. They helped me out immensely when I was trying to learn how to play Big Shaman, just with the matchups and what cards you keep and what you get rid of and some of this stuff. And I recommend them. We'll post the lists. But anyways, moving on to our kind of deck of the week segment, we've got a spicy one for you. In true combo fashion, Clark has brought us his version of Turtle Mage, except it's like got an extra win con of like, so over the past 2 weeks, I've watched Keith Numbers play a lot. I've watched Concerned Mom play a lot, and they've been playing Turtle Mage. I know the deck was kind of like the new thing to make people rage in Standard, and it's super annoying to play against because you just, I mean, kind of stall your opponent out and annoy them to death. And and then we see some of our top players over here bring the deck into Wild and goof around with it real quick and see, okay, well, I understand what the main combo is, but how can I break this in Wild? And what I really like about your list is that there's like an alternate win con of Mogu Cultist, which I was able to pull off yesterday, or was it last night? And it was hilarious and it's awesome. And talk about the animation, it's super duper cool. And so here's the list. We have some folks watching live. We have some folks watching on YouTube. We have some folks listening to the audio podcast version. So I'm going to read the list real quick, and then we can chat about it. There's 2 copies of Mogu Cultist, 1 copy of Raid the Sky Temple, 1 copy of Sphere of Sapience, 2 Doomsayers, 2 Licensed Adventurers, 2 Questing Explorers, 2 copies of Frost Nova, 2 copies of Frozen Shadow Weaver, a Gluttonous Ooze, 2 Ice Blocks, 2 Escaped Mana Sabers, Lore Keeper Polkelt, 2 Potions of Illusion, 2 Witchwood Pipers, an Antique Healbot, 1 Dragon Maw Scorcher, Lotheb, Ziliax, and 2 copies of Tortillion Pilgrim. So this deck is nutty. Number one, it is absolutely crazy. So like, if you want to annoy your opponent to death, correct me if I'm wrong, I am hardly the expert, but I've been watching a lot of this over the past couple weeks. Essentially what you end up doing is praying that you keep the potion, what is it called? I just lost it. Potion of Illusion in your deck. You play a Tortillion Pilgrim, get a 1/1 copy, and then you're able to kind of spam these, and you can keep freezing their board over and over and over with Frost Nova. You can play Ice Block over and over and over, and you can fatigue them. You can annoy them to death. And then you can also create a whole mess of 1/1 copies. And essentially that was the win con that I saw in this deck, was like, it is super easy to fill up, even if you got 2 or 3 or 1 Mogu Cultist, like you can get a bunch of 1/1 copies of them in your hand. And for those of you, probably nobody has ever played this card, right? What it says is if you've got 7 copies of this on board, then at the end of the turn, it turns into King Daddy Mogu, whatever his name is, that does
Raw.
Sorry, what is it?
Highkeeper Raw.
Highkeeper Raw.
King Daddy Mogu.
And what Highkeeper Raw does is at the end of the turn, it does 20 damage to your opponent and all of their stuff, right?
So
all enemies.
All enemies. And then
this card, keep going, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you get this guy on board, and then you create more 1/1 copies of him. And so you can do easily, it's an OTK 40 damage or more. You can do some absolutely crazy things with this. I mean, let me just give the mic over to Clark, and you can talk about this deck. I'm not the expert, but I totally geeked out playing it because it is so fun and so funny.
Hey, real quick, so this combination is the real Exodia, right? When you think about it.
That's one way, yeah. 7 pieces. But essentially, how I'll break down this deck is that there's a few packages that I've included in this deck in order to try and make it as consistent as possible. Because pretty much, like, you could fit in a whole bunch of battle cries in order to change the win con of this deck. But this deck just goes all in on the Mogu Cultist out and just trying to make as many Highkeeper Raws as possible. So in order to do that, I've put in as much mana ramp as possible in the form of the Mana Sabers as well as a Licensed Adventurer. And I really want to highlight the quest package because this is what I'm pretty sure people were trying this in Standard, and I'm not sure if Eddie one of the GMs decided on one of those lists, but like this deck made it to GM, not this particular deck with Mogu, but the archetype in general. But in any case, the quest is there to help you draw with the questing explorers, and it just gives you turn 2 plays with licensed adventurer. But like the coins off of the adventure are really, really important, because if you're just able to get the Tortolin in your hand for 1 mana, then suddenly you have your combo enabled. Obviously, you can keep the potions in your deck with the Sphere of Sapience in order to make sure that you get it in the bottom of your deck. But this deck just goes all in on making sure that you can get the Mogu Cultists out as soon as possible. The biggest thing to keep in mind with this deck is hand size. There's a lot of instances where you just have to throw out cards in order to make room in your hand for the Mogu Cultists.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, the animation, by the way, is so amazing. Like when you pull it off, like the animation is top notch. It looks super cool. I managed to like hit the print screen button at just the right time, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's super cool. So, what other Battlecry cards did you consider putting in here?
I mean, the biggest thing that I didn't want to include was like any kind of damage, but like I pretty much just included healing and disruption and freeze to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Like Gluttonous Ooze is pretty much in there because of Kingsbane Rogue. You can just, infinitely take weapons and stuff like that. Anti-Healbot for healing. Dragon Ball Scorcher can just be your AoE tool over and over again. I got inspired by Concerned Mom's lists because I would say that his list is probably one of the best that I've seen in Wild. I can't remember exactly all of the cards off the top of my head, but there's cards like Meteorologist. There's cards like I believe Meteorologist is the first one that comes to mind, but it's a really tight list. But there's a lot of battle cries that I wanted to put in this list, but I just didn't want any other kind of win con, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I mean, it works well. I think that you've got between stall, like freeze, and draw. It seemed consistent to me when I played it. Like, I don't know. And you don't really even, you're not trying to finish the quest. That's there so that you can... you can draw cards, you can get your coins and stuff like that. I think you
never complete the quest. That's never an objective.
Right. It's super fun, man.
And the mana off of Escape Mana Saber really come in clutch with this deck in particular. Like, actually today on stream, I was able to pull off 80 damage on turn 9. Like,
wow. That's amazing.
Well, let me ask you.
Yeah, it happen consistently, but it can happen. I didn't think it was possible until it happened to me, and it just fell in my lap today.
That's awesome. Let me ask you though, do you consider this competitive, or do you think it's a meme? I don't know.
The archetype is for sure competitive. This particular deck is definitely a meme, though. I think that the power level of Turtle Mage is it's one of those decks to where if you play it perfectly, it almost feels impossible to lose, depending on the matchups, of course, and if you hit your potions or not. Mm-hmm. But if you hit your spheres and you put those potions in the bottom of your deck and you have all the time in the world to get the combo, it feels really hard to lose.
Yeah, I keep between Keith and Concern Mom both, like, they really ranked up quite a bit with the Turtle Mage, whatever you want to call it, and I know it's still pretty fresh and experimental, and so it's really fun to see. It's a little tricky to play. I will say it's not the easiest thing, and like you were saying, hand size can be a problem, but I don't know. It's awesome. It's super fun. So for the folks that are watching or listening and are interested to kind of see it in action, this is what we'll be playing in the co-op portion later. Or if you're listening to the podcast, check it out on YouTube later. It'll be a blast. What I'm looking at the list here. So okay, the Mogu is your win con. Sky Temple is there so that we can draw cards from the quest proccers. Doomsayer is for, I assume, like early game stall. It combos off with Frost Nova. Frozen Shadow Weavers, more freeze, Ice Block, save you. We're getting Mana Ramp from Mana Saber. What are you looking for from Lorekeeper Polkelt?
Okay, so the reason why Lorekeeper is in this deck is so you can get your Tortolan Pilgrims out immediately. Like that's just to get the Tortolan in your hand if you need it in certain matchups. It's like a third copy of it almost. But the biggest thing to keep in mind about the Lorekeeper though is that if you do that and you don't have your sphere equipped or in your hand, then suddenly you're on the clock for the Potion of Illusions to be drawn from your deck naturally because there's no other ways to shuffle your cards unless you're going against a Bomb Warrior that just happens to have a Lapse of Judgment. But in any case, you really don't want to play your Lorekeeper until after the Sphere has been played because then you're on the clock and you just don't want that to be the reason why you lose.
Okay. All right. I like it.
It was very commonly used in Standard, and that's where I got the inspiration from like mixing the people that I saw experimenting this in Standard and in Wild. But again, I just really wanted to highlight the Mogu Cultist because there really isn't a lot of ways to utilize this card aside from like Rogue. So like I'm glad that it has a home in Mage now.
No, I really like it. When I was looking at this, the thing that it reminded me the most of was Starliner Druid. Did you ever play that? It feels similar to that to me.
I didn't play Starliner Druid, but I did see the gameplay when it was a problem.
I was part of the problem.
But it was fun, right?
It was fun.
It made the card useful, and it was never meta, and it never has been meta since.
It was fun for me. I don't think it was fun for people that we played against, right? But I blame that one on Danny Donuts. But yeah. So what are you looking for in the mulligan?
Okay, so you always get the quest. Pretty much, depending on the matchups, you always keep the Adventurer and the Explorer because they're quest cards. If you're fighting a Rogue, you can keep Gluttonous Stews. If you're fighting aggro, keep Doomsayer. If you're fighting a weapon class, you can probably keep the Frozen Shadow Weavers as well. But usually, you just want to keep the draw and the quest cards, the Adventurer and the Explorer. Yeah. And recently, I've been keeping Escape Manascaper just because like I really like cheating mana in particular matchups. I don't think it's the greatest idea to keep it, but I've been keeping it in my mulligans, and it does pretty well.
Okay.
Pretty much just all proactive cards is what you want. You don't want to keep anything reactive because you're trying to be as proactive as possible until you're put into the position where you have to play defensively.
Okay. No, I like that. I like that. All right. Yeah, this is fun. I mean, what is I guess we've seen this like Dark Glare be kind of the new hotness. How does it favor up against that? I mean,
it doesn't really do that well. They have to have an extremely slow game. It's only because they have the explosive turns possible by like turn 3, turn 4. So if you don't have Doomsayers to throw down on empty board to kind of discourage them from playing all of their cards, you don't really have any burst to deal with them after they've done the pain combo. So until you get your Tortolans out, you really are unfavored against decks that aim to kill you by like turn 5, turn 6.
Okay.
Destroys control though. It destroys control.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think the funny thing with between Pilgrim and the potion, like you can pop off a whole mess of cultists and Raws. Like they could have a bazillion armor and you can still tank them really hard. So
yeah, and something else about the Mogus is that like you can throw 4 Mogus on the field, then throw the Tortolan to get them back into your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And if your opponent doesn't deal with the Mogus in hand, suddenly it's really easy to get those high damage raw combos.
Yeah.
It really puts the responsibility of your opponent to clear every board that you present.
What do you guys think about this? Yeah,
to seeing this in action. To be honest, it's going to be a lot of fun. I've seen clips and a few people trying it. But no, I'm really looking forward to this, and I want to learn.
I'm excited too. I've played my fair share, surprisingly, of raw decks. My favorite was Priest.
Okay.
But
how did you do Priest?
So I stole it. You guys familiar with Mark? I'm forgetting his last name. He does a lot of. Say it again.
Mark's
KZ.
Yes, I got it from his YouTube. Literally copy pasted. Dual Cat showed me one day, and I was like, "There's no way this is possible," and then he made it happen. But yeah, let me go research, and I'll pull it up while we're doing our show tonight, so you believe me. But I got it from Mark. You guys know Mark. He does combos too.
Yeah. He's definitely a lot more intuitive than me. He's got a lot of combos that require double Emperor ticks, and he also does all of them in like actual games too. So the dude's an absolute madman.
That's awesome. Yeah. I will say, I mean, it's one thing to pull it off against the Innkeeper. It's something completely different to do it on ladder or do it on stream. Like, it's
My biggest issue is that people concede. Like when you set up those kind of combos, sometimes they'll just straight up concede against you. It's so demotivating when you spend 3 hours and then finally you get that one game, and as soon as the raw hits the field, they're out. They're just out of the game.
That's funny. Someone I follow on Twitter by the name of Sydney, they have been playing this deck and experimenting with Volcanic Potion in Tortolan Mage as like an infinite board clear. Have you guys seen that or thought about that at all?
I haven't seen that.
I mean,
I've seen the posts, but I just find it hard to justify running Volcanic Potion when you have freezes. Like Frost Nova, just like it's not even a matter of you can deal infinite damage onto the board. The other question is when your opponent has a full board and you freeze it, there's nothing that they can do. So getting rid of their board oftentimes is giving your opponent ways of winning the game versus just spamming Nova and Ice Block over and over again, which are literally some of the most uninteractive cards that Mage has in its arsenal.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating. I mean, if you guys remember, you take the time machine back 3 or 4 years when people were playing Freeze Mage, and it's like, okay, Frost Nova,
Double Blizzard,
and it's like, come on, I can't play anything. And when you've got your board frozen, like it prevents you from even playing cards because you've got no room left. So sometimes, like, you don't really want to clear the board. You just infuriate them to death. It's great. I mean, there's pros and cons, like you said, but like watching these turtle decks in actions, like it just makes people tilt so hard. So
yeah, not as tilted though as the Mage player that gets flicked. that's
that's hilarious.
World.
Oh my god. Yeah. Good stuff. So let me ask, is there anything else about this deck that people need to know as far as, like, if they want to play it, what would you say is something important to know that may not be intuitive by looking at the list?
This particular list or the archetype in general?
Well, I don't know, maybe both. Or, just, I guess, how do you combo off? Or what, how much mana do you want to have, or what is the right order of things to play, that type of thing.
Okay, so like general tips, I guess. So the biggest thing that I would say, especially when it comes to actually firing off the Tortolan combos, is that you never want to, you really just want to be able to get the 1 mana Tortolan in hand. Mm-hmm. And depending on the situation, there are times to where you can only play Tortolan when you have 10 mana, so that way you can play Tortolan into the potion, get 1 Tortolan into your hand, play a 1 mana Tortolan to get 2 more into your hand, and then you have an extra one so you can play out 1 more additional one to either freeze the board or give yourself an ice block. That's only when you're doing really far behind and you need to play as defensively as possible. But if you're not in any immediate threat, then just throwing down the Tortolan and getting that 1 mana Tortolan in your hand as soon as possible is probably the best thing that you can do. So that way you can throw out the rest of your cards in order to pop off your combos. So, like, the biggest thing that I can suggest when it comes to, like, playing this deck, if you're playing it as a meme or if you're playing it for realsies, is managing your hand, thinking ahead to your turns and getting rid of those clunky mana cards before they become a problem.
Okay. Is there any way to... I mean, I know that, like, the activator that we're looking for is Tortollan Pilgrim into Potion of Illusion. For the people who aren't familiar, what Tortollan Pilgrim does is when you play it, it casts a spell from your deck for free. And so it really relies hard on having Potion of Illusion still in your deck. Like, if you draw 2 of them, are you just screwed? Or is there a way to shuffle them all back in?
The sphere is really the only failsafe that you have. Like, unless you've already started the combo and you have ways of getting the... If you already have, like, multiple Mogus in hand, for example, then if you top deck them, it's pretty okay. You can maybe squeeze your way out of it. But if it's like, you know, turn 4 and you just got both potions in your top whatever cards, you've lost.
Just bottom right on a concede at this point.
There are some games that are going to happen that way, and that's one of the major weaknesses of this deck, which is why some people just completely avoid it. But aside from that one glaring weakness, there's just so many ways that this deck can perform well. But like, yeah, the Lorekeeper, Polkelp, and the Sphere are pretty much your failsafe cards to try and make sure that that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, real quick, that Mark deck, actually his was a little too complicated, so I had to simplify it for myself. So I made it where it was, you got the Mogu Cultist, and then you give it Death Rattle, summon 2 copies with Grave Rune. And then you play shadowy figures on it, pop those, and then go from there. Yeah, the way Mark had it with his decks, it was crazy. Like, I couldn't comprehend it. And then he has a rogue one. He has a bunch of them, but this mage one, this seems pretty consistent. I want to try this.
Okay, yeah, that priest one actually makes sense. That just filled the void of priest in my potential video for Mogus.
Oh yeah, Grave Rune, shadowy figure, you got it.
Yeah, that's huge. That's actually an idea of mine in Hunters to do a similar thing, but with cubes. Cubes and play deads.
Yeah, good call.
So you're gonna make another like a kind of like your Penflinger video, but from
that's the idea. But right now, Demon Hunter is the one that's making me hate everything about this idea. Because, like, it's about making a way to do it. It's about making a way to make the I'm sorry, I'm slurring over my words. It's about making the combo not completely irrelevant to the point where you could very well do it on ladder. But like the only way to really do it is like with Barista, and even then, it's still hard to get 7.
Yeah,
Demon Hunter is really not the combo class. It's.
Well, I mean, part of the thing that it struggles with, and I guess there's pros and cons, is that it's so new that they don't have, 5-6 years of cards to pull from.
Yeah, that's the issue is that they don't have the support.
It's going to take time.
The funny thing is, though, I mean, we've used that same logic to like break the class at least somewhat. I mean, I don't know, a few months back I had hit Legend with Odd Demon Hunter, and I was running 2 copies of God, what was it? The Cobalt Spellkin or whatever, the one that gives you 2 1-mana spells.
Yeah, that's the one.
And because there's so few 1-mana spells, like at that time there was only 2.
Getting slices.
Yeah, you were guaranteed. You're either getting Twin Slice or you're getting Mana Burn or you're getting the Silence one, whatever it's called, and Consume Magic. And so none of those were bad. So you can use it to your advantage a little bit, but anyways, I don't know. I'll rack my brain and see if we can come up with a combo. Maybe you can use Glide somehow.
One more thing I want to point out, and the main reason that I just thought about it is because Gobbled Gook brought up the idea of Elec shuffling spells into the deck. If you were to use Elec and spells, not only would you need to top deck the spells and like rely off of the low rolls of your deck, you would also have to get the Elec. However, there's actually a card that does the shuffling a lot better that I actually got smacked against today when I was streaming. And I think it's a Mirage Caller. It's the 4-mana 3/10 taunt, where at the end of your turn, it goes back into the deck. So that's one way that you can actually undo the Lorekeeper shuffle.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
if you draw that on turn, like it's because it's also a 4-drop. So if you can draw that before the potions are drawn, then suddenly you can make it to where the potions aren't the 4-drops that are going to be drawn next. And that was like the most Omega Brain tech I've ever seen today.
Wow.
But if you want to shuffle cards into the deck, you can use Mirage Caller. I think that's the name. It's neutral 4-mana 3/10.
Okay. You guys have any other questions here or any other
Yeah, I was trying to find cards to help Clark with the demon hunting class to pull out the combo off. But as I look in the client, every card says deal damage to your opponent. I don't know, like it's all face. Sorry, Clark.
No, it's all right. Like I feel like I have to go for like some kind of like brand combo with like with Barista or something like that. It like Silthuar was how I did it with Penflinger because it gives you 3 copies automatically, so it gives you the 5 you need to do the combo. But like, I guess it's use Silthuar and use Barista. Like that seems to be the only option.
I like Barista. I got a golden Barista, and I've been like waiting to do something with it. So that would be cool.
You got golden everything.
I know. Can I tell a little secret?
Go for it.
We were talking about how I don't have very many druid wins, and so you guys all linked me a list for an aggro druid, and so I popped it into the client. Well, we were talking here, and it turned out I had most of the deck golden already. So I just crafted the rest of it golden.
There it is.
Except for in big
a golden druid, but it has a golden coin already.
No, I didn't craft the golden in Biggin yet. Yeah, I know. Funny, right? I actually looked. The actual number when I said I don't think I've broken 200, it's actually 150 on the dot. I just looked. It's 150.
Wow, who's flexing now?
Yeah, and I gotta flex at him with my full gold deck. 150 druid wins. Take that.
Oh my god.
And Druid was just usually the go-to class if you wanted to win. You must have really not liked Druid.
I really didn't like Druid. I thought the hero power was boring. I don't know. It wasn't something that I liked, and I've just never played the class. And then now I'm gonna play it a lot because, I mean, it's shiny. So there you go.
Yeah, it was my 4th golden hero. I think my 4th. Yeah, 4th. Right, because it was Uther, Garrosh, Gul'dan, then Malfurion. That's the order.
Dude, you guys have been playing a long time, right? You guys remember the old Savage Roar? What was it called?
It was 14 damage, right?
Force of Nature Savage Roar?
Oh, the Force Roar? Yeah. Crazy.
I remember being killed by it.
Dude, Force of Nature was literally my first golden card, so I spammed the hell out of that combo back in the day. That was like... Yeah. That was one combo I'd do against my friends at the lunch table all the time. Like they never played meta decks, and I would just play Druid and stomp them.
Yeah, those were the days, man. Those were the days with when Azure Drake only cost 4, right? Blizzard got sick of everyone putting it in every single deck.
Back then, I didn't understand the meta. I'd never played a card game before. And when I picked up Hearthstone, I didn't know anything about decks, like, whatsoever. So they gave me, like, I think I looked it up on Hearthpwn, like, just a standard Mage deck or something like that. And all I was doing was playing a Mage that had, like, Sorceress Apprentices in it and Water Elementals and Fireballs and Frostbolts. And, like, it was just, like, a standard mid-range tempo-y Mage that I played for easily a year. Like, not even understanding that there was an actual metagame happening. Just getting stomped by people.
He's playing the deck that they give you with at the beginning for a year.
For like a year. And then at some point, like even probably over a year, because then they released Old Gods and they gave everybody Cthulhu, and then so I just took out some cards and then threw in all the Cthulhu cards, and I played that for like another year.
You know, Cthulhu. Of all the Cthulhu stuff, Cthulhu Druid was not bad. I
played a lot of Cthulhu Warrior back in the day. Whoa!
Wow,
bring it back.
Yeah. No, I didn't understand.
Mage.
We should do a little tournament with like Cthulhu decks, or you bring 4 decks, one with each Old God or something like that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be dope, actually.
Oh, I'm all on that.
We could let's plan something.
I brought that to THL.
Everyone's gonna be playing some kind of Resurrect deck with N'Zoth. Everyone's gonna be playing Yogg Druid, and then everyone's gonna be playing some kind of Cthulhu Druid, probably.
No, it has to be Yogg Shaman.
Or what else would you? Well, we got Yashraj, right? So some sort of big something.
Big something.
Yeah, big shaman or big priest.
Yeah. We could play some Casino Mage with Yogg. That'd be fun.
Oh, that's actually one that I did do. I picked up a Mech Mage list back in the day. I was playing a whole bunch of Mech Mage. That's, I think, the only thing that was kind of meta. But then when Yogg came out, I just put that in there because you had all the extra parts that you would get.
Yeah.
And so like it was like a last ditch. Like, okay, I've definitely lost this match. Here's Yogg, and it would do stuff. Sometimes win me the game. I don't know if anybody else did that. I just did it because I had a shiny new card. I actually played against Blister Guy with that deck, I remember. And he was like, I was not expecting the Yogg.
They never do.
Never.
Yeah, Frog Saran.
I still lost, though. He's a good player.
He is a good player. Oh
yeah.
My god. All right. Well, hey, we are about at the 2-hour mark, and I think we're about ready to kind of wrap up the main part of the show and go into our co-op piece. So if we can sort of sign off here, where can people find you? Let me start with Clark. Hey, where can people give us a little bit of I guess, where can people watch you stream? Where can they watch your YouTube content? Where can they listen to your band play?
So I mean, Twitch and YouTube is just Clark HELLSCREAM. I try to stream on Twitch as frequently as possible. 5 days is usually what I try to go for, but I usually shoot for 7 if at all possible. But you know, no one can do that consistently depending on their situations. But yeah, I stream on Twitch. I've been posting videos somewhat regularly on YouTube recently. Just recently hit about 150 subscribers, so I have the channel name of Clark HELLSCREAM, so you guys can find it that way. My band, The Indigos, we're on Spotify. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, all of those social medias, Instagram. But yeah, we mostly post stuff on Twitter.
Nice,
right
nice. On. Okay, yeah, okay, very cool. Hydralisk, where can people find you?
You can find me at Hydralisk_HS on Twitch and Twitter, and as well as here at Born to Be Wild HS on Twitch every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Beauty.
Mike Lowe, where can people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me Monday through Thursday morning on Twitch at Mike Lowe TV. Come catch me here Friday nights, Born to Be Wild HS, the podcast. And every Wednesday we'll have those Tavern Brawlers coming out. This week came out Thursday because I was live streaming and I did it while I was streaming. I had some music going, so I had to go in there and separate the video a little bit so we can get that part of the Tavern Brawl out, because most of the video was muted. But check out the YouTube, and also check out that giveaway. Go to our Twitter. I made a tweet while we were recording tonight.
Nice.
It's on the Twitter right now. So already got some activity. I see you, Memnarch. Memnarch retweeted it, so he's excited.
Nice.
Very, very good. If you guys are looking to follow me, you can find me. I'm mostly active on Twitter at NateWolfTCG. It's NateWolfeTCG. And you can find us more information about the show, more importantly, at borntobewildhs.com. I cannot believe we didn't make the joke tonight, because when we tweeted out, I say we, but what I really mean is I tweeted out the show this morning, I totally forgot the HS at the end, and we had
Oh, is that what you were referring to?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know what you meant.
Yeah, so if you go to borntobewild.com, it is a...
I can't believe that. That's so funny. You said you couldn't believe you put the wrong link, and I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, so it's basically a sort of kind of Viagra energy drink combo there. Yep.
Wow.
Okay, that kind of wild.
Wow.
The other format.
Yeah, Clark. The crazy combos, the real crazy combos happen over there. You do the right sequence, man. Holy crap! You have a good night.
It's all about sequence.
Order is very important.
If the show lasts, if the show lasts for more than 4 hours, please consult a medical professional.
Somebody's gonna be hurting.
Oh my god! So yeah, you can you can find everything about the show at borntobewildhs.com. HS.com. We've got links there to all of our stuff. So if you're looking for Born to Be Wild merch, a big shout out to Wildcard and Spangle Custom Apparel, who have made all of our merch for us. It turned out remarkably well. Super cool. Yeah, there you go. Why not, since we're at it? These beautiful shirts and hoodies and hats and all that stuff. Super cool. There is a link there to our Discord that has become a very booming kind of community hub. So if you guys are interested in chatting with other folks, seeing deck lists, links to all of our stuff, the Discord is really, really fun. So highly recommend that. And that's about it. The last little piece that I have really is just
and now,
tradition at this point.
Unrelated advice with Nate Wolf.
Okay, so Craig started this tradition a long time ago, and we always wrap up the show by asking a little piece of unrelated advice. And what I wanted to ask all of you, particularly not Clark, is if you guys were in a band, what would your band name be? Boom, Hydralisk, what would your band name be?
Oh.
You do this to me all the time. You know what? I'm gonna call it Skulls, because it's one of my favorite Misfits songs, and I used to be in a Misfits cover band, and I would call it Skulls.
Dude, I actually covered that song in my first group.
Hell yeah! There you go.
I like it. Mike Lowe, if you were in a band or a group, what would it be called?
Well, if I was in a band or a group, probably a bunch of, laid back, low key kind of guys. So it's probably going to be called Bungalow.
Oh my God, I love it.
Bungalow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so good. All right.
I like that name.
Clark, what about you? If you had an alternate band name, what do you think?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat Bungalow. I was trying to think of a this entire time to beat me to it. Oh, man. I guess if I had to have a different band name, I guess I would just go with the first name that I had for my first group, which is High Octane. Yeah, that was the first group. That was the name of the first group that I had when I was a teenager. But we just made a bunch of punk music, so I guess I would like to recreate that band.
I like it. All right. My imaginary glam rock band is called Glitter Bomb. There you go.
Okay.
Glitter Bomb. Hey. For that genre, that works.
I'm imagining like an 80s hair metal band.
And is your first album Platform Shoes?
Hey, I mean, we're working on our band names already, right? We've Nathan Tackle and Mike Flex.
No, Hydralisk, he's the flex guy. He came in talking about he crafted his deck golden. I can't touch that.
I can't even beat that either.
I already had like 85% of it golden. Okay. I just had to fill in the blanks a little bit.
Wiser words were never spoken, and you heard that on Born to Be Wild.